All right, let's get started with lifting weights and the scale. This is for you if you're already lifting weights for a while, or maybe you've lifted weights in the past, or even if you're considering lifting weights, this is good information. You'll know exactly what to do and what's really going on if you're not seeing that scale budge or you're not seeing the progress that you'd like. So today we're going to be covering why you're getting stronger, but the scale won't budge, why you can't tell the difference in your body from lifting, and the one thing that is key to changing your body when you lift. Okay, so about 15 years ago or 20 years ago, I joined a gym thanks to my brother who really pushed me into starting to lift weights. 15 to 20 years, okay, now I feel old. So at this point, I was probably the skinniest I had ever been. Like a healthy weight for me is around 130 pounds, like 60 kilos. And at that point, I was around like 108 pounds, okay, like 49 kilos. I was skinny, but I had no muscle tone, it was just like flat everywhere. So as I started lifting weights, I started to notice the scale going up. And I also noticed that I was feeling fluffy, okay, especially after a really good strength workout. Like my body would just look more buff, like bigger, okay? Now, I know you can relate to this. In my 20s, skinny was just like all the rage, right? Not many women lifted weights. And so obviously the scale going up and also me looking at myself getting fluffier started to scare me a little bit, I won't lie. And ultimately this drove me to stop lifting weights for a while and take up a program that was like a 20-minute boot camp kind of workouts, just to help me stay skinny. I wanted to stay skinny. But I also, what I really wanted was that I wanted my body to look like I trained. I wanted it to look strong, but lean, I didn't want to look like a bodybuilder. I just wanted my arms to look toned, my tummy to look tight, and my legs to just look strong. And so I gave up on strength training when I started to gain more weight and look more puffy instead of lean. So hands up if this has happened to you. You started lifting weights and you notice that the scale's actually going up. You're feeling fluffy or puffy, whatever. Just say fluffy in the comments so I know that you can relate. Now, did the boot camp workouts give me the results that I wanted? No. Okay, so I did that for 3 full years. I'm not lying, 3 full years. And I followed 2 specific people on social media who were, I had their programs and all of that. And I religiously did that for 3 years. And all I had to show at the end of it was like a lot of injuries and joint pains because of the high impact moves that I still have to be careful this many years later not to trigger, even after all these years. So what exactly happened to my body when I strength trained? Why did I look fluffy? When you strength train, okay, your body breaks down because it rebuilds itself to come back stronger. And breaking down basically is a stress to your body. And when you eat some foods that don't really agree with you and you get like bloated, you get bloated because the cells in your body fill up with water to fight the inflammation. So the same thing happens when you strength train and when you get sore. What happens is your cells fill up with water to protect your body from that soreness and that breakdown. But this is a short process. Okay? It's just a few days after you train, okay? And it is necessary for your body to go through this to build back stronger. You will also notice that the scale is going up a little bit because of the water retention, okay? And there's also, more blood flow to help with recovery, which is why you see this pump after you've trained. Like my butt is just like a bubble for like 2 days after I train glutes, okay? So don't be like me in the past and give up on strength training. That pump, that fluffiness is a necessary path that your body must go through to emerge stronger and better. Just like the caterpillars who go through the cocoon stage to then become beautiful butterflies. Strength training is fat loss training if you can stick with it long enough. Now, the bloat is normal for a few days, you know, this puffiness, fluffiness, whatever is normal after you strength train. But as you keep strength training more and more, this decreases like by a lot. Okay, you feel that you're not getting as sore. Like I'm rarely sore anymore after my workouts, unless I take like a massive break and come back. I'm lifting really heavy, you guys, and my body recovers very quickly. So I don't get this bloat, this fluffiness anymore. But what isn't great for you now is to consistently be gaining weight, because like I said, it should only last for a few days. What's not normal is if you keep gaining weight when your goal is fat loss. Okay, if you're strength training to try and lean out, you know, to shed fat, you should ideally see the scale moving down, especially if you have like a lot of weight to lose. Because what strength training does is it makes your body tighter, smaller, more compact. Just let me know if that makes sense. Okay, so if you're kind of in the healthy weight range already, you don't have a lot of weight to lose, you might as well just throw the scale out of the window. Because what strength training also does is it kind of redistributes the weight in your body. So you lose the tummy, you lose the love handles, but it goes to, you know, starts to build nice places like your legs and your glutes. Now, you've probably heard the phrase muscle is heavier than fat. And I see a lot of women who are overweight, who have a lot of weight to lose. And they assume that because muscle weighs more, the scale is going up. But like I said, if you have a lot of weight to lose, and if you're strength training, you should ideally be seeing that scale go down when you lift weights. And if you're not seeing the scale go down, you need to take measurements around your waistline, around your hips, okay? If those are going down, then you're on the right track. But if everything is going up, the scale is going up, you know, your measurements are going up, your clothes fit the same, there's no change, it's even getting tighter, you know, in spite of you strength training for like a consistent, you know, few months, then there's a 99.9% chance that you're eating wrong. You're either eating too much or you're not eating the right kind of foods to help you drop the fat. And in this case, you need to start journaling, okay, writing down what you eat on a daily basis. And I see a lot of women think, oh, I'm exercising, you know, I'm more hungry now, I need to eat more to feed my muscles. You need to eat more to build muscle. Let me know if you've heard that one before. You know, I want more muscle, so I need to eat more to grow. This does not apply to you if you want to lose weight or lose body fat. You cannot be stuffing your face regardless of how hard you're training if you have a lot of fat to lose. This only applies to you if you're trying to gain some healthy weight, or you're already at a weight you're happy with and you just want to, you know, grow a certain area like your glutes or your legs, for example. Then you can eat more. But if you have a lot of fat overall to lose, you know, and if you're going to keep eating too much, you're going to get bulky regardless of what training you're doing. And if that's the look you're going for, that's fine, you know. But if you want to look toned and lean, like I think the majority of you want, you're going to have to analyze what you're eating on a daily basis and make some changes. So you're probably wondering, but Ramona, what if I want to build muscle and lose fat? Is that possible? Yes, it is. Now you can totally have muscle if you're trying to cut fat, if you do these two things. You ready to take notes? Number one, you want to get enough protein. And two, you want to keep challenging yourself to lift heavier weights when you strength train. These are literally the two most important things ever to build muscle tone, okay? Now, me personally, I try to get protein at every meal, every snack throughout the day. And this is exactly what my clients do to stay lean. So that's the first thing you want to look at. You know, am I getting enough protein? That's the priority. And then you add the rest of your foods around it. So the most important thing, that one key thing to change your body when you lift is your food. Okay, you can do exactly the same exercises, the same workouts, the same number of workouts, the same intensity when you're trying to lose fat or gain muscle, the only variable that changes is your food. And this alone determines whether you get smaller or bigger. On another note, I prefer tools like taking measurements of your waistline, taking progress pictures, or just watching how your clothes fit as way better indicators than the scale. If the scale isn't showing you progress, look at these other methods, okay? Because for me, they are way more reliable. There's just too many factors that cause fluctuations on the scale, and it can be really frustrating to not see those results, even though you may have made a lot of progress. All right, so I hope this was useful, you guys, and you gained some insight on lifting weights and nutrition. If you think your diet is great and you still stop, reach out. Or you're not seeing progress fast enough, reach out, send me a text. Let's figure out how to get you moving on the right track. If you're watching this on YouTube, the link to join my Strong and Sexy Moms Club is in the description. Come over. We help moms shed the extra fat, reveal some lean muscle tone. We cover lifting, nutrition, and mindset to help you get to the best you've ever been and to be able to perform as a mom at 110% of your potential. So, ladies, if you're enjoying, if you're celebrating Thanksgiving, enjoy it, have fun, eat all the food, and we'll deal with the after effects later. I will catch you next week, same time. Ciao.